why you should start thinking about joining a mortgage business. A lot of folks left the mortgage business, 60% or more have left. But I believe we are about to see a renaissance in mortgage. We have obviously rate and term refis starting now from the people who did the whole buy the house, date the rate nonsense, which I disagreed with, but nonetheless, they got lucky. Then we're going to see cash out refis explode next year as mortgage rates, or if mortgage rates fall. And then finally, the real estate industry is waking up from its slumber. As I called, August was the bottom. September is up 4% year on year. So I think the mortgage business is about to have a renaissance. So I want to talk to Mr. Stephen Dow, who's been in mortgage for a better part of 2 decades, and ask for his advice. If you were somebody who's looking to transition careers and join the mortgage side, Stephen, what are some things they should think about? But before we do that, let's get the marketing thing out of the way, because I almost forgot.
Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel, that of my own. So as far as, getting to the business, definitely I would recommend it, especially now as far as how, in life timing is so important. And in my industry, it's very cyclical. You have the ups, you have the down years, and so on and so forth. So positioning yourself right now, we're kind of on that upswing just there, and not kind of following up with, oops, sorry about that.
Right.
With, the trend, so to speak, and then you kind of jump on the wave too late. You know what I mean? Whenever everyone else is trying to do it and there's just more competition. Right now would be a good time to kind of level up, become an expert in one specific area. You don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
I recognize that as I was kind of going through, my career. If you're a master of that one, you're going to get so much of that business because you're the expert at that. So that, and then, you got to have a little bit of a nest egg, because in this type of position, it's commission based. So you got to have at least a little kind of, something to fall back on for the time being, because until your next commission checks comes in, you just don't know, how often that may be or how soon that may be. So that would be my only thing. I mean, if you can kind of, people make certain moves, maybe move back in with the parents temporarily. I don't know how old you are. I don't know where you're at in life, things of that nature, but you have to kind of structure it so that you can kind of have those little gaps in pay a little bit, or be, a little bit more flexible, cut down your overhead, whatever the case may be. But that's just the initial sacrifice. And then once you kind of build up your book of business, now people know about you, and you become a little bit more established, you're going to get consistent business. That's the one thing about this industry where, you're effective and you're a hard worker. Just word gets around, and then you start to network, and then you get inbound business. So other than that, man, this is one of the only industries that I've ever experienced to where you could make such a humongous amount of money without the normal kind of like long education process, right?
Yeah.
Like a professional, like an attorney, a doctor, any other type of professional athlete, something like that, or, a lot of long training, which, hey, that practice makes perfect, or you're preparing for your time. But with this particular industry, you're good at math.
Yeah.
You're good at, problem
talking
solving,
to people. Yeah.
and
Problem solving.
communication, clear, and you don't lie. You know what I mean? Like, you're just just not a POS. Then you're going to do great in this business. You know what I mean? It just happens. So
I think there's a lot of truth in that. And I think you started off right where my head went, is a lot of life is timing. And, I get asked by mortgage brokers and real estate agents all the time, right? Is now a good time to start or not? And I would tell both real estate agents and mortgage brokers, today's a great time to start, right? I would tell real estate agents specifically, this might be the hardest year of your real estate career. And if you do that in the beginning, before your expenses get all out of control and you live high on the life, it's a great time to start. Because if you can get through this slog and get to the other side, you're going to be stronger, better, more informed, have a network. It's awesome, right? The worst time to start would have been like 2022 or 2021. It's like you have no discipline.
And starting to come down.
No discipline. You're not learning, no mentorship.
It's
crazy, right? So again, very, very cool. I also like that you hit right up front. It is a commission-based business. It has great upside. You don't need a college education. You don't even need a high school diploma. In many cases, you just need to be hungry. But you do need to manage cash flow. So especially in the beginning, what would you say the beginning? Is it 90 days? Is it 6 months? What kind of buffer do you think somebody should plan?
Great question. I think it's just gonna be kind of case by case, right? Your lifestyle, your overhead, you're gonna probably have to plan for it. But like I said, you should start to kind of cut back on certain things and really tighten the belt because you just don't know when that commission check's gonna come. You're gonna hope for the best, but unless
Right.
you're either getting fed leads all the time initially with certain, companies or brokerages, but if you're just, pounding the pavement on your own, you really should just cut down to the bare minimum for
Right.
now. And then once you kind of really get momentum, kind of, branch out a little bit of luxury
Yep.
here, there, or you know what I mean? But yeah, just planning right. And if I would have known what I know now, back then, I would have done things. I would have, budgeted better. Because
Right.
I mean, when I jumped into the timing, it was like, oh my God, this is great, and I'm thinking it's always gonna be like that. And then, phew. But by then it
Yeah.
was like I'm used to this kind of lifestyle and
Right.
spending and stuff like that. But yeah, this time around, not
Much
even
more
close.
conservative.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
I just stack them up, man.
Yeah. That's
I don't
another
spend
important
really anything.
thing. This is a business that will have cycles.
Oh
There
yes.
will be peaks and valleys. And I think what you just shared there is, this is kind of your second cycle, like
Mm-hmm.
full cycle through this. And the first one caught you, right? You lived a little high on the hog, you had the little toys, you had all this other stuff, and it bit you in the
Two, three
ass, right?
houses,
Yeah, it was
three, four
not good.
cars.
So again, if you're starting out in the business and again you're at the bottom, realize that you're very likely going to catch a wave,
Mm-hmm.
and just be mature enough to know that when it's sunshine, you should put a little bit away because it will be winter eventually.
Yep.
And don't bust out that. I mean, a lot of people busted out in '08. A lot of people busted out in 23. That's
Mm-hmm.
why 60% leave the business because they don't
Mm-hmm.
manage cash flow.
Yep. 100%. And so again, with the whole cycle thing where, business is getting tough and now those like onesie twosies or the people that are just doing it on the side, that's
Yeah.
when they all leave the business. And so you have less competition. And if you're now, kind of established as somebody, as a resource, you're now going to be the go-to guy. And so you're going to get that first wave initially, faster and bigger than most. So this is a good time to get in, I think. Just
Yeah, I do.
don't
I think so.
expect too much depending upon what, market you're in. But I agree as well. I mean, with the economy where it's heading, I mean, cost of living is lower, gas prices are lower, you know what I mean? Groceries are lower, interest rates are lower. So it's just momentum building, I think. Maybe a little too early for now. We'll see how
Yeah.
really,
But
again,
yeah,
we touched upon the last show was employment.
yeah, it's employment. We got to watch employment. Again, I think if you were a young person or maybe somebody mid-career looking to make a change, a couple of years ago, it would have been hard to join the mortgage business. I think today would be smart. Again, I think you're getting it at the bottom. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, far from it.
No.
But again, I think very soon the wind will be at your back. Rates will be lower. Rate and term, cash out refi is coming now. I just researched this morning. We have $35 trillion in home equity.
Right.
Here's my
slowly
guess.
creeping up.
Yeah,
And
here's
it's
my
going
guess for you.
down.
We're going to
But
see
also,
$1 trillion, $1
from
trillion
your lips
come
to
out.
God's ears, Mike. That's what I'm hoping for. Also, anybody looking to get into our industry, just my specific, position, just so I have less competition. But yeah, anything else, realtors,
Yeah, go over there.
especially loan officers. I need a lot of loan officers. You know what I mean? Definitely get into that. But as an account executive at a mortgage company, no, it's
don't
not
want to
that
do
fun. No, I'm
that.
gonna be honest.
The competition. Yeah, you don't want
I
it.
would probably not do that, but yeah, loan officer, 100%.
Loan processor, transaction
Loan
coordinator,
processor,
go do that.
anything like that.
How can people reach out to you?
Again, email is going to be the best. sdout@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT to make it past the firewall. Body of the email, maybe a brief description, what you're looking for. Property address would be super helpful. Mid-FICO score, best phone number to reach you at, typically 48 hours. We've been having some email trouble because Monday there was that whole blackout, global blackout with AWS. So I'm playing catch up. I'm barely getting some emails that got sent on Monday.
Oh, wow. That's bad.
So, well, because it's just bottlenecked. And then now it's like, I just got this huge, I'm like, wait, how did I get like 200 emails at 5 in the morning? I'm like, oh, yeah, because they were from Monday. So anyway, apologies for the delay, folks. But yeah, I'll be in touch. I promise.
All right. Stephen, you're amazing. sdow@velocitymortgage.com. Thanks, bud.